Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode 42 of my show Wrestling with Brent. Got a lot to talk about in this particular episode, just a lot to cover. I'm going to be making, just giving my regular thoughts on wrestling. Um, and I'm going to be going over the Ring of Honor show from Saturday. Um, Also going to be going over NXT Takeover, Stand and Deliver. It was a two-night event, Wednesday and Thursday. Um, have some opinions about that as well. I'm also going to give my thoughts on WrestleMania predictions. And I'm also going to give my thoughts on AEW and the AEW show from the other night, Dynamite. Um, so let's get into it. First thing I'm going to just go ahead and talk about, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Ring of Honor. And I might jump all over the page here a little bit and just give my random thoughts on each show and then circle back and do a review of the matches and stuff. Um, Alright, so before I go into the Ring of Honor, I just want to say this Ring of Honor show was good. I liked it. It was good to see Danhausen back. I like him. I know a lot of people don't like him. He's not for everybody, but he is popular. He's got a lot of fans. I like his YouTube videos. I love to hear him talk. Just the way he speaks to me is just very interesting. He's just really a character. He's a gimmick. And he's just very different, very out there, very obscure, and I just like it. I like his look. He's got some cool moves. I like how he incorporates the team into the matches. Um, he's been doing some cameos for Jim Cornette and Jim Cornette played a few of them on his show recently, and he said he likes them, which is surprising. Um, I didn't think Jim Cornette being that kind of thing, but yeah. So I like Danhausen. I really like this Brian Johnson guy. The more I see him wrestle, every time I see him wrestle, whenever I see him on TV and Ring of Honor, I just really like him. I like his style. I like the way he wrestles. I like his look. Um, he cuts really good promos. He just seems very believable. You really believe in what he's saying. Uh, and he doesn't come off forced or fake or scripted. He just does a really good job. Um, so I thought this feud and this little trip, this little rivalry they've been having in Ring of Honor has been very good, Danhausen and Brian Johnson. Um, so that was the match, one match they had. It was good. I liked it. And then the next match was Eli Isom against LSG. That was a very good match. I liked it. It was very competitive. I'm a fan of both these guys. Eli Isom just seems to get better every time I see him at LSG. Very good match. I liked it. Uh, and then the main event, alright, so that was the main event. So in my opinion, this was a good show. I liked it. It's a good show. Ring of Honor for another solid show. Now, I'm going to do AEW last. I'm going to just talk a little bit about WWE stuff because it's a lot to cover. I'm going to give you my thoughts on WrestleMania. As you all know, WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday night. I'm not expecting much from it, to be honest. I'm going to watch it and I'll do a review on it, but I'm not really expecting a whole lot. Just because when you really look at it, the card is not necessarily bad, but it's nothing great either. A lot of big name stars are left off of it. I still can't believe the way WWE's done Charlotte lately. I can't believe she's not on the card at all. So you got no Charlotte. Of course, Becky Lynch has been out pregnant. I'm gonna talk about that here in a second. There's a rumor that she's coming back. Um, no Becky Lynch. No Ronda Rousey. She's been absent for about a year or so. No Ronda Rousey. Um, no Bailey, which is I don't understand why she's been one of the hottest heels in wrestling, and especially in the company. Pretty much her and Sasha's carried the company for a while as far as the women go. As far as the women's division goes, um, and Bailey's not even on the card. No huge like a big time draw. No Lesnar, which is surprising. Um, no Lesnar. Of course, CM Punk. I don't think he's ever gonna come back. He's not really a draw to me anymore. But he's no CM Punk. Uh, just nothing that really, wow. No Undertaker. You know, so just weird. It doesn't really feel like a WrestleMania. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. For those that watch Raw Monday night, it was awful, horrible, just completely stupid. I can't believe they just keep ruining the Miz over and over. It's getting worse. They had him where he's painted Bad Bunny's car with a little spray kit. Uh, had little doing paint, and they had like little uh using little strips of paint out of a paint bucket and just barely painting it on like a little kid, like a little 4-year-old would do. Just terrible. Uh, and you all know by now they split up the Hurt Business, on Raw. One of the only good things WWE had to go on, and they hadn't really been all that great because they had them lose a lot early on, but I still liked them. I liked the potential. They just ruined them from the start. But now they completely split them up, and they've got Bobby Lashley partners with Baron Corbin. Just terrible. Just sorry, I had to laugh about that. Just terrible. Uh, so yep, that's going on. WWE is just terrible. Um, so right now going into WrestleMania, there has hardly no build's been terrible. I'm not looking forward to much really. But hopefully I'll get surprised and there'll be some good matches. Um, really nothing in WWE is really good right now. Except the Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan's been good. The Big E and Apollo Crews feud's been pretty good. I like Apollo Crews' heel turn. But it's still nothing great. Yeah. And the stuff the women's been okay. The Bianca and Sasha Banks match, I'm looking forward to that. It should be really good. It's one of the good, really things I'm looking forward to. But the feud and build up just hadn't been very good. Um, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, all this stuff's been terrible. With Reginald involved, just terrible. Not as just, Nia Jax just terrible every week. Her wrestling promos, just nothing she does is good. Just garbage. Yep. But I'm gonna give my WrestleMania predictions. Uh, and also I'm gonna that's gonna also lead into the NXT Takeover review and results, and then I'm gonna get into the AEW stuff. Uh, all right. So my WrestleMania predictions for night one. We have a Raw Tag Team Championship match: The New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. I like to see AJ Styles and Omos win. They've since the New Day's been on the Raw and Big E's left them. Winning his own. Kofi and Xavier by themselves. Just the jokes have been falling flat. I don't know if it's they just played out. Kofi and Xavier's they're overacting, just oversaying stuff, and just really doing a horrible job. But it's not. I'm not gonna say it's on them. I'm gonna say it's the material. Just the writing and everything is just terrible. They had them in the ring the other night recently. I believe it was Monday night playing charades, literally in the ring, just awful. Uh, So this creative has really just sucked everything out of the New Day, sucked the life out of the New Day. Kofi and Xavier's trying, but the material's so bad nobody can save it. Not even people as talented as they are can save it. Even Big E with them wouldn't be able to save that stuff and just make it good. Um, AJ Styles and almost AJ Styles, he got beat like in 2 minutes. It was ridiculous. I'm looking forward to see Omos debut, but I don't his first match in WWE. But I don't think I think New Day is going to retain. Yep, and this might be a good match because AJ Styles in it, New Day's in it, so it could be a good match. But I have a feeling it's going to be not be anything to write home about. So I think New Day is going to retain. Next match we have I'm actually looking. I think this would be a good match. I really like how WWE's finally pushing Cesaro. They should have done it 4 years ago or 6 years ago. It's been long overdue. I'm sorry, Seth Rollins. I know he's a good wrestler, but he just bores me. His promos week after week is just ridiculous. The suits he's been wearing, his whole appearance. I can't even stand the way to hear him talk. Just have a whiny, nasally voice. He's just Not a very good actor, in my opinion. Um, Promo, just the way he carries himself and his showmanship. He doesn't have any charisma, in my opinion. He's just terrible, in my opinion. Uh, yes. Seems like everything he's ever done, even in his stuff with the shoe, I just never cared for him at all. I always liked Roman and Dean Ambrose. I just never liked Seth Rollins from the beginning. I'm just not a fan. Um, but he is a good wrestler. Um, him and Cesaro should be able to have a good match. I like where they've been building up Cesaro finally. I bet Cesaro is going to get a big win over Seth Rollins. So that could be a good match, should be a good match. So I'm hoping for the best for that. So I think Cesaro is going to win. Next match we have Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage. I'm not looking forward to this match. I'm not a Braun hater, and I don't crap on Braun like a lot of other people on the IWC, the internet community, wrestling community does. I don't crap on Shane much. I like Shane. He's just too old. He shouldn't be in the ring doing stuff. I liked his matches back in the day to not really be a trained wrestler. He's fierce. I liked all the cage dives, all the stuff where he jumped off the stuff, and he was athletic at the time, but he can barely move now. And just the last few times he's done his elbows and drop kicks off the top rope just hadn't looked very good. Um, you know, age has really caught up to him. Father Time really caught up to him. In my opinion, this whole feud's been trash. Him calling Braun stupid and throwing the green slime on Braun, making Braun look like a complete idiot again. Uh, they have never really booked Braun Strowman right, in my opinion. Braun Strowman should have been a beast from the very beginning. Um, he started out good in the White Family. They ruined him in that, made him look weak, and then, they made him a comedy character. And then they finally made him a heel, but it's been like 4 years too late. And they just have him losing and just have him saying stupid stuff in promos and just have him being stupid in matches, like as far as psychology goes, like in that match where he ripped the floor open instead of going for a pin or whatever. Just stupid. They make a complete idiot and somebody like him, the way his look and size. People say he's a bad wrestler, but I mean he's a strong man. He come from the tough man contest, strong man contest. He's big and strong. You be able to use that, in some way. Um, it's completely ruined him on the jump. Since he got started. Um, this is going to be a waste match. It's going to be something you'd like to see on Raw, continuing to Raw. I don't think it's going to be anything good at all. I think it's going to be a waste. I want Braun to win, but I don't think it's going to. Surprise! I think Shane McMahon's going to win. Yep, to humiliate and bury Braun Strowman. Um, WWE clearly has it out for Braun Strowman. I don't know what the problem is with him. But they've never used him out from the beginning, and they're going to just keep making him look like an idiot. So I hate it for him. Uh, yep, that's my prediction. Shane's going to beat Braun at WrestleMania. Yep, would not surprise me at all. The next match we have Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. This is another four-way match, four-way rivalry. I love the Miz. He's my favorite WWE wrestler. But they've ruined him over the last. They've ruined him the last couple of years ever since his stuff started with Shane. He did a good job but they've been ruining him ever since. They never really took advantage of his whole stuff with Miz and Maurice. When she came back as a manager and was helping him cheat and win matches and stuff. He was hot there for a period and really revitalized his career and really was on the roll. And it just stopped all of a sudden. I know Maurice got pregnant, but, she was still, and everything just kind of stopped. They put him in the people's shade, and everything's been terrible ever since. Uh, I love him when Morrison came back to WWE for the first time, and they brought back their tag team. It was pretty good at first when they was cracking on people and they had the tag team titles at first. It was pretty good. Even some of their first rap tracks was good. Then everything just got terrible with the hair skit they did on SmackDown. Just everything they've been giving was just terrible when they was trying to prank Braun Strowman and just doing terrible pranks on Braun Strowman. It was just terrible. Just nothing has been good. And it's not them. It's just material. They're really doing their best. Like most people in WWE, they're really doing their best. All the talent's trying their best to get everything over, but nothing works. Seems like. Um, Yes. So I think Miz and Morrison's going to lose. I think Bad Bunny and Damon Priest is going to win. I've never been a Damon Priest fan since he was back in NXT, and I don't like him, when he was in other places, Ring of Honor, Impact, MLW. Uh, he was Punishment Martinez. I've just never been a fan of his, even though he is a good wrestler. He's got a cool look. I'm just not a fan. He reminds me too much of Baron Corbin. I think they're very similar, but it's just my opinion. Um, I don't mind Bad Bunny. I don't care about his music, but I know he's a big wrestling fan, and I think he's done a good job overall, as far as his acting, doing his lines and stuff, and him getting involved in WWE. I think it's been good for him, good for him, and good for WWE. I don't have anything against him. So I think Bad Bunny and Dan Priest are gonna get the win. Yep, they'll beat Miz and Morrison, in my opinion. So that's my prediction. Uh, the next match, SmackDown Women's Championship. We have Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I'm a big fan of both these women. They're two of my favorite women wrestlers. I've been a fan of Sasha Banks from the beginning back when she was in NXT. I've been a huge fan of Bianca Belair from the beginning since she was on NXT. Seen all her matches, basically. Her rise in NXT. She's just a great athlete. Seems like a really nice person. Same with Sasha Banks. They're both great wrestlers. They both look great. I like their promos and their characters. They just kill it and both seem really believable and just, Bianca Belair, I just like that realistic EST and that girl thing she does. I like her long hair and how she whips people for hair. I like her strength and her agility. She's very athletic. I like how she can pick even men up over her head and throw them around like China used to. Um, Rest in peace, China, one of my favorite women of all time. Love you, China. Um, Love Sasha Banks. I love her toughness. Like her promos. I've always been a fan of her matches. She seems like a really nice person in real life as well. I love Sasha Banks. Mercedes Renata. She's awesome. Um, so I was really torn on who I want to win. I'm really a fan of both, so I'd be happy either way. I'd like to see Bianca Belair win, but I don't think it's time yet. The way the feud's been built up very fast, and um, I don't think it's time yet. I think they can let it marinate and maybe drag it out another month or so. I think Sasha Banks is going to win. So I think Sasha Banks is going to keep the title. So that's my prediction. So I think Sasha Banks is still going to be the women's champion. Uh, yep. Also, the next match, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win and get his title back, get his win in front of the fans. WWE was waiting for fans for him to get, because they wanted to see him get cheered. Um, so yeah, I think they're going to Drew McIntyre is going to win, and I'd be happy either way. I like Lashley and I like Drew McIntyre. Um, so I hate it for Lashley. He's got to lose, but I believe McIntyre winning is the right call. Yep. So there you go. I think McIntyre is going to win the title back. All right. So that's all for night one predictions. My thoughts on night two. The U.S. title Riddle versus Sheamus. Um, I like Matt Riddle, but they've been booking a table on the main roster, just stuff and giving him to say because he's terrible on promos. Uh, Sheamus has done a really good job since he's been back in WWE. He's had some really good matches, great matches, in fact. He's just been doing a really good job being a heel and just doing a really good job character promos and everything. It's believability, but um, unfortunately, they hadn't booked Sheamus right at all. They've basically made him lose a lot, like a lot of big matches. So I think Riddle's going to win and retain the title. Like I said, I'm a fan of both. They can both go in the ring. Riddle really puts on great matches when they let him. Riddle can really wrestle, can really bring it. Um, he's no slouch. Neither is Sheamus. They can both wrestle the tails off. Should be a really good physical match, I think, in my opinion. If they let it be, if creative lets it have a really good match. Um, but I think Matt Riddle's going to retain the title and keep his title. So Matt Riddle, still U.S. champion because he hadn't had it very long. Um, yeah, so I think Matt Riddle's still going to be the champion and retain his title, U.S. champion. Uh, all right, so the next match on night two, we have Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn with Logan Paul. I don't really, I don't hate or dislike Logan Paul, but why is he there? It's just dumb. The build up for him, the interaction with him Friday night, just kind of, just was nothing to it really. Uh, yeah. Uh, I think Kevin Owens is going to win the match. Uh, I think Logan Paul is going to turn on Sami Zayn and help Kevin Owens get the win. Um, but I think Kevin Owens is going to get the win. I think this could be a really good match if, like, again, if creative lets them, if they let them, be great fans because these two are so, they know each other so well and they always put on great matches and they're both great wrestlers, by themselves. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on their own rights. They're both great wrestlers. So this could be a good match. I think Kevin Owens is going to win. Yep. Next match for the Intercontinental Championship, Big E versus Apollo Crews. Um, I thought Apollo was going to win already just because of the way they was building him up. Um, I don't think I think Big E's going to lose the title this time. I'm surprised, upset. I think Apollo Crews is going to win. Uh, I'm a fan of both. I didn't know used to like Apollo Crews, even though he's a nice guy. I like him a lot better as a heel. I like his accent, and I just like the way done with his character. I've always been a Big E fan. I like his solo run. I've just always been a fan of his, especially ever since he's been a New Day. He's just a funny guy. He's got a good personality. Um, he's believable, and he cuts a good promo. And I like the way he wrestles. He puts on good matches, and he's entertaining and funny. Um, so I'd be happy if whoever won this match, but I think it's gonna be a surprise. I think Apollo Crews is gonna win. Uh, so I think Apollo Crews is gonna be the new Intercontinental Champion. Yep. Uh, Next match we have the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton again. It's been one of WWE's longest stories for months. Feels like it's been going on forever. It's been a terrible feud, probably the worst feud of all time. Uh, it's got to be right on up there. Um, it's got to be also one of the worst character changes of all time with Bray Wyatt, what they've done with him. Used to loved it starting out. They just completely ruined it. Again, it's not on him and it's not on Randy Orton all the way. I'm sure some of this was as it is. Some of the Fiend stuff was his idea, but I don't think all it was that way. Exactly the way it's been done. I think WWE was choosing to make it that way, and it just made it all just really dumb. Alexa Bliss, like I said on side note, has done a great job acting, done a great job per role, but uh, they pretty much made her useless too and dumb looking too. Um, Randy Orton just keeps on throwing up black stuff and they never explain why or where it come from. Just stupid. But I think Bray Wyatt's going to get a win. I think Bray Wyatt's going to win. I hope this match is really good. Um, but history repeats itself like the way it's been going here lately with this whole feud and storyline. It's been terrible. Probably terrible again. So, yep, I think the Fiend's going to win and beat Randy Orton. The next match, we have the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Big fan of Asuka. She's one of my favorite women wrestlers. I think she's one of the best women wrestlers it is. Also, I think the same about Rhea Ripley. A big fan of Rhea Ripley. Always has been since she was in NXT. She's awesome. I love her look. I think Asuka's a beautiful girl. Very pretty. Seems very nice, and on her YouTube, she seems really cool and interesting. I've hated the way WWE's dumped her down and made her just really stupid acting because she's not that way in real life. Um, Great wrestler. She was great on NXT. Um, and the main roster and WWE credits completely ruined her, in my opinion. Um, Rhea Ripley's a great wrestler. She's awesome. Got a cool look, entrance, music. She's got charisma. She's tough, strong, athletic, a beast, uh, aggressive. So this could and should be a really good match for two of the best women wrestlers. I think it's two of my favorite women's wrestlers. I think it could be a surprise. I think just because WWE doesn't like Asuka personally, in my opinion, really doesn't like Asuka, doesn't understand Asuka. I think Rhea Ripley is going to beat Asuka for the title. Yeah. So there you have it. I think Rhea Ripley's going to be the new women's champion. Uh, all right, next match is the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I think this had a chance to be the match of the whole thing. I think it's gonna be a really good match. Um, I think I think all three of these wrestlers, because they're all great, in their own right, they all put on great matches. I think this could be a really good, great match. Great triple threat match. Um, I think Daniel Bryan's going to come close, and I think Roman Reigns is going to cut it close, but I don't think they're going to win. I think Edge is going to get the victory and win the title. So I think Edge is going to win. Uh, yep. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on WrestleMania. So there we go. We'll have to see how it goes. Also, just a little side note about WWE before I go into the NXT Stand and Deliver review and then the AEW very quickly. I'm trying to be as quick as possible. Um, there was a rumor. It's been reported, and it's just still a rumor. I don't know if the report's true or not. So take it with a grain of salt. But from what I've been reading, it's a report that Becky Lynch is going to come back very soon, and Ronda Rousey is also on her way back eventually. I would like to see them back as soon as possible, but at the same time, I wouldn't. Not that I don't love them; they're two of my favorite people, two of my favorite women wrestlers. Ronda Rousey is one of my favorite women of all time. Favorite athletes, favorite people of all time. I just love Ronda Rousey. I love Becky Lynch. She seems like a great person too. They're both beautiful and awesome and just great personalities and very charismatic and all that. Big fan of both of them. Um, but no matter who you are, man or woman, I don't trust WWE anymore. Haven't in a long time. I don't trust creative. I'm afraid if they when they bring Becky Lynch, when she does come back, and if they bring Ronda Rousey back, she decides to come back as well. They just had a chance of ruining them, making them look stupid, or treating them like jokes. Because if you remember Becky Lynch's, before she got pregnant, her promos and that stuff they was making her say was just terrible and just didn't seem realistic or didn't seem like Becky Lynch or even the main character at all. Just made her seem I don't know, everything just felt forced and like she was saying stuff against her will, like she didn't believe it herself. Again, not knocking Becky Lynch at all, saying it wasn't her, it was the creative, the storylines and stuff they was giving her. And Ronda's been away for so long, I think Vince McMahon, he might just, and WWE creator might just throw that in her face and just, bury her on purpose and, make her walk out. WWE. Uh, yep. So let's take that with a grain of salt. Apparently, Becky Lynch is supposed to be back soon. What they're saying, what the reports or dirt sheets are saying, and Ronda Rousey is supposed to be back at some point soon. So we'll have to see. I believe it when I see it. Uh, yep. All right, now real quick, we're going to NXT Stand and Deliver results and my opinion on it. I thought this was a really solid NXT overall. Um, Night one, I thought was the best night. I think this could be NXT's best takeover ever. This is like their WrestleMania. Um, you know, uh, this is the first takeover in a long time. It felt like the old NXT old takeovers. Just a really good show. Um, to my personal opinion, there was nothing on either night, both nights, that was bad at all, personally. But night one was just, I thought, very good, and night two just good, okay, but not great. It was still good overall. Had a couple highlights, a couple matches that was really good. But I thought the crowd really killed it, and uh, it didn't live up to the height of the first night. Hype of the first night. And the first night was so good, I mean, it would be hard to top. Um, you know. So, yeah, let's get into it very quickly. Um, NXT Stand and Deliver Night 1. It opened up with one of my favorite guitarists, one of the best guitarists in the world, a woman guitarist, Nita Strauss. She's a guitarist for Alice Cooper. She's awesome. She's a beast. She done a national anthem on guitar, and it was awesome. Really good. I really liked it. Um, Give me 1 second. All right. So the first match for night one of NXT Stand and Deliver we had this was the pre-show match. I actually missed this one. Zoe Stark and Tony Storm. I'm a fan of both. Zoe Stark's really been on a roll lately, and apparently, from what I've seen here, Zoe Stark beat Tony Storm. So I'm sure it was a good match because I liked them both. Now I did see the second match. Pete.1 versus Kushida. This was a very good match. I was hoping Kushida would win, even though I like both wrestlers. I like both wrestlers a lot. Big fan of both wrestlers. I love Kushida since he was in New Japan. Big fan of Pete.1 since he was ever first came to NXT on the NXT roster. He's a great talent. They just both have both just great wrestlers. Big fan of both of them. I thought Kushida was going to get the win, but Pete.1 got the win. He pinned Kushida. It was a good match. I liked it. Next match, we had Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis versus LA Knight. It was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Bronson Reed won the match. I figured he would. Again, LA Knight lost another big match, formerly Eli Drake. Again, NXT is making him look like a jobber, making him look terrible. He's lost another big match. So he's out, to my opinion, he's already become a joke, become an afterthought, become a irrelevant in NXT in WWE. So, Eli Drake, LA Knight, I'm sorry for you. You put on a great promo, and he does good promos, but, he's wrestling just okay. Cameron Grimes looked good in the match. Everybody in the match done good, looked good. Swerve Scott was gonna, I wanted him to win. I'm not really a Bronson Reed fan. He's okay, but, he can move for a big guy. I'm just not really a fan. He's okay. I don't dislike him or hate him or anything. He just, he's okay. I like Cameron Grimes. I don't like his new what they done with his new character, the whole money thing. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst characters and storylines and all ever. Right up there with the Fiend and Alexa stuff and Randy Orton stuff, and right up there with the David Arquette as champion. I like him. He's actually redeemed himself over the years. He's been making the wrestling, doing the deathmatch and stuff, and I like him as a person and actor. And the Matt Hardy Impact stuff, which I think it's got to be the worst character of all time. Character and storyline, I just hate that character. Oh God, Broken Matt, I hate it. Ugh, garbage. Love Matt Hardy though. But yes. But anyway, the winner of the match was Bronson Reed. He got that tsunami splash off the top rope on Swerve and got the pin. So good match. I liked it. Very entertaining match. The next match we had for the NXT UK Championship. Every time I've seen Walter wrestle, he's done a great job. His look, the way he wrestles, and the way he moves, he's just so intimidating, aggressive, and he's a beast. Big Tommaso Ciampa fan. I've become a big fan of his over the years. Jim Cornette's talked about him several times when he was in the Ring of Honor. Just of all the injuries he had to overcome, and just his tough as nails. He's a freak of nature. Seems like a nice guy in real life. He's really a good wrestler. Really good heel, good face. He's just really a great wrestler. So I knew this would be a good match. The match is still better than I thought it would be. In my personal opinion, this is my favorite match of the whole thing. In my personal opinion, this was an instant classic. I loved the match. I was into it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole match. If you're a wrestling fan at all, I don't care if you don't watch WWE, you don't watch NXT, you don't watch NXT UK. You need to go out of weary person to watch this match. If you don't watch nothing else on this NXT pay-per-view, NXT big event, watch this match, this one particular match. It was great. I loved it. Such a great match. Very back and forth, very aggressive. In your face, smash mouth style. Oh my God, I love this match. Instant classic. Loved it. Great match. Walter got the win. At one point, he kicked out of Tommaso Ciampa's finisher, the fair tail end, and not too many people kicked out of that. Except maybe once or twice. Big Judge said on commentary said he did, but he didn't. Nobody's ever kicked out of. People have kicked that up before. Vic Joseph was wrong. He's tried to say that he don't think anybody kicked that up, but people have. Yep. So great match, instant classic. Loved it. The next match after that was the tag championship, the MSK. formerly the Rascals from Impact, versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma. Um, like I said, from Legado del Fantasma, the other guys, interesting, they're from Impact 2. Uh, yep. Uh, so this was a really good match for the Takeover Championship. MSK won. I was kind of surprised they had been on a roll, but they're just so new. But MSK won. They beat Grizzled Young Veterans and Legado del Fantasma. It was a very fun, exciting match. Had a lot of really good spots in it. It's a fun, high-flying, exciting match. I liked it. It's a good match. Match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So, good match. I liked it. Next match, was the main event from night one. Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. I really love this match. I'm a fan of both women. I love this match. It was a great match. I loved it. One of the best women's matches I've ever seen. One of the best women's matches I've ever seen for WWE as a whole, especially in NXT. One of the great NXT main events. I can't rave enough about this match. I loved it. Both wrestlers looked and done great. Had a lot of some big spots in it. Has a lot of devastating moves. Just really aggressive Indian style, back and forth. A lot of tough, some near falls, some kickouts, false finishes. Just a great, great match. Both wrestlers showed a lot of heart. Both ladies showed a lot of heart. Females showed a lot of heart, in my opinion. Just a great match. You really didn't know who was going to win at any time. You know, they had you on the edge of your seat. Uh, they had the crowd and people at home. If you watch this match, they had it just like the match with Walter and Pete Dunne. Uh, they had you watching every move and just ooh and ah and wow. Hard out a few times like wow, oh my god. For both of these matches, I just couldn't believe how great they was. Just great matches. And that's what you want. These two particular matches really got you reminded those of us who love, myself included, who love pro wrestling, who really love it and really take this serious and just really love it and just really get into it. Knowing it's all a show and knowing, it's predetermined, it's choreographed, but I wouldn't call it fake at all. I get offended when I hear people say that because I've really dived into it and being a fan all these years, ever since pretty much my whole life, being a diehard fan. Um, wrestlers really put their bodies on the line. It's very dangerous. Not a lot of people, unless you're trained, can do what they do. And, just the hours they put in, the work they put in, the risk they take, and they could get injured and your life could be over or paralyzed. You could die at any time. And just um, the stuff that they put up with, like creative and storylines and all that, just, I couldn't even imagine. Um, so I just have a lot of respect for wrestlers, um, in general. So this was just a really great match. But what I'm going to say too, I just want to say about the whole respect and wrestling and all that. Those two matches, this women's match and that NXT UK match, the Walter versus Pete Dunne for the UK belt, to just remind you of why we, as people, as wrestling fans, love wrestling so much. It was just great. I loved it, start to finish. Great match. Um, Io Shirai, I think everybody, myself included, thought she had to win. She hit a finisher, the moonsault off the top rope. Nobody's ever kicked out of it. She's been using it as her finisher in NXT. She's been in NXT. Raquel Gonzalez kicked out of it. I was shocked. First one ever to kick out of her moonsault. Uh, if I believe. Then I'd say that too, but I believe so. Uh, So just a great match. Raquel Gonzalez ended up getting the win with a one-handed chokeslam powerbomb. She finally beat Io Shirai. So great match. I loved it. It was an instant classic in my opinion. That and the Walter match were the instant classics. Um, One of the best women's matches I've ever seen. Uh, yes, a great match. And still, just to get off a little bit off topic, the AEW match, the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match was the best one I've ever seen. The non-sanctioned match, it was the best women's match ever. Um, but this match was very good. It was an instant classic. This Raquel Gonzalez match. So great match. I loved it. Um, so my review of NXT Stand and Deliver, night one, 8 out of 10. Just a great show. I loved it. Great show. start to finish. All the matches was good. It was just great. Um, Great show. You can tell all the wrestlers really put their best effort into it. It's a great show. All right, very quickly for night two, and then I'm gonna go into do the AEW stuff very quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. Night two, it was a good show. It didn't feel like night one. The crowd was very dead. They weren't really into it, and that really impacted the show, in my opinion. Um, I thought all the match was good, nothing was bad. Some of the stuff was just all right. It just felt like the NXT show. It didn't really feel like a big, huge pay-per-view takeover show. Or takeover pass show like night one did. It just felt like something you would see a bit extended on NXT on USA during the weeks on Wednesday nights. And that's not a bad thing. It just, uh, like I said, but all the matches was good. Um, the last two matches I thought was very good. Um, I really liked the Johnny Gargano title match. I thought that was very good. Um, and I enjoyed the Karrion Cross and the Karrion Cross and Adam Cole match. It was a good match. It was good for WWE in terms of a non-sanctioned match, and it was pretty good. But it kind of reminded me of the Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa non-sanctioned match from like last year, where they did a cinematic match. It was very good, but very long. But it was a good match, but wasn't what you expected. It was good, but it wasn't like, oh my god, one of the best things ever. Like I said, so this match was good. I liked it. Both wrestlers worked hard. West had some busted open some blood spots, and they slammed each other through the floor at one point, through the stage. Um, but in my opinion, AEW does their non-sanctioned, the hardcore match and deathmatch stuff so much better than WWE ever does. Um, so this to be WWE NXT, this was good, but AEW is just on a whole other level. Um, the Joey Janela, Kenny Omega non-sanctioned fight that was on Dark a few months, a year or so ago, was just way better than this. Blew this out of the water. Uh, the Kenny Omega John Moxley match, the non-sanctioned match on pay-per-view, where they had the non-sanctioned match and they brought out the spikes and drove each other through the spikes. That killed this match. The Thunder Rosa Britt Baker non-sanctioned match, the lights out match, killed this match. Uh, Even the Kenny Omega John Moxley barbed wire match, which everybody just always talked about the end. My opinion, that was a great match. That just really killed this match in comparison. Uh, this uh, this match compares in comparison to all those matches, but it was still a good match. I liked it. Um, and I also liked the Karrion Cross, the main event of night two, the Karrion Cross. Well, it was one of the main events, the Karrion Cross and the Finn Balor match. Um, I was glad Karrion Cross win. It was his time. He didn't lose the first time, but he had no choice. He got hurt. That wasn't his fault. Um, so a lot of people on Joe's show, Joe Quinter's show on YouTube show was after the paper was saying Joe just saying how people saying they think Karrion Cross was born. I disagree. He's a talent. I like to watch him wrestle. When I first saw him in Impact, I wasn't impressed. I thought he was a good character, good promo, but I wasn't impressed with his wrestling. The more I watched him, the more I just kind of got it, and I was a big fan of his. And great wrestler. I love Scarlett Bordeaux. She's beautiful. Love Karrion Cross' character, his promos, his look. He's a great wrestler. He's very entertaining. Puts on great matches. Um, yep. And I love Finn Balor. He's one of my favorites as well, one of my favorite wrestlers. He's a great wrestler. He puts on great matches. But it was a good match. I liked it. Was a good match. It wasn't a great match, but it was a good match. So I was glad Karrion Cross got the win. So just like Karrion Cross did win. He's the new NXT champion. Uh, Also for NXT night two. Um, on the kickoff show, we had Brazanga vs. Killing Dane and Drake Maverick. Number one contenders match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Killing Dane and Drake Maverick got the win, so that's good. I like all four of these guys. They're good wrestlers. Drake Maverick is very small. Rockstar's butt of TNA. TNA, yes, he's very small, but he's a good wrestler. He's entertaining, charismatic. Uh, Always been a fan of his. I'm a fan of all four of these guys. Always have been. Yep, it's a good match for a pre-show match and for a contender match, and I liked it. Uh, all right, so the first match tonight too was for the Cruiserweight Championship. We had a lot of hype going to this one. The way they had it up on Wednesday night. Shawn Michaels bringing the ladder out and making the ladder match, throwing the ladder in the ring. I got everybody really excited. So it was for the Cruiserweight Championship. Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin. For those that don't know Jordan Devlin, I hadn't seen him wrestle much, but he was the NXT Championship for a while. NXT Champion for a while. He got suspended when all that speaking out movement of all the wrestlers come out, the UK wrestlers and Velveteen Dreams and Matt Riddle and all that, and the Jay Lepers of the world. He was Jordan Devlin was involved in all that and got some allegations against him, and he just sort of disappeared. But WWE didn't say much about it. They just kind of, made him disappear like they did with Matt Riddle and with Velveteen Dream. We didn't hear from Jordan Devlin for months, but he's been back recently in NXT, and he wanted to get his hands back on the cruiserweight title. This was a good match. It wasn't nothing great, wasn't nothing special, wasn't spectacular. It was all right. It was good, decent. Um, so good to decent match. Uh, Decent to good match, I should say. Um, so Santos Escobar is still your champion. Santos Escobar got the win. Uh, so yeah, I liked it. It was a good match. Santos Escobar is still the champion. Yep. The next match was for the Women's Tag Team Championship. I was looking forward to this match. I like all four of these women, especially Candice LeRae and Ember Moon and Shotzi. But I like Indy too. I really like Candice heel turn, all them heel turn. I like it. Yes, it's a little goofy and a little over the top, but I liked it. It's supposed to be. I think they do a good job as heels. Even Johnny Gargano, I think he does a great job. I think he's. I'm not like Jim Cornette that hates on everything he does, and most people hate on Johnny Gargano's heel turn. I know Squared Circle Psychobabble, Michael Volante, and Rob Volante don't necessarily like it, but I like it. I like the whole wave faction. Um, but what I saw was a good match. I was having stupid internet issues for a few minutes, so I missed the rest of the match, but I saw some of it. What I saw the beginning of it, I liked it. Um, I thought the Wave was going to win, but from what I've seen, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon kept the titles. It was a good match. So I'm pretty sure it was a good match. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty sure it was good for all these women involved because I like all four women. So I have a feeling this match is good. I'm going to go back and watch it. As a matter of fact, I'll finish this review, finish this video. Yep. So Shotzi and Blackheart and Ember Moon still your champion. They beat the Way to retain the tag team titles. Yep. So the next match, we had an NXT North American Championship match. I thought this was a very good match. Johnny Gargano always delivers. Johnny Takeover always delivers in a Takeover match, seems like. Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed won his match last night to qualify to be in this match, to be the number one contender for the title earlier tonight against Johnny Gargano. This was a very good match, very back and forth, very aggressive match, in your face style. Very back and forth. I liked it. Had some near falls. Bronson Reed showed his toughness. He took everything Johnny Gargano gave him. Johnny Gargano really has always shown his toughness and his heart in his matches. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says, Jim Cornette or anybody. Even though I like Jim Cornette, I respect his opinions. Um, I respect other people's opinions. I don't hate other people's opinions, but hate on other people. But Johnny Gargano is just a great wrestler. You can't tell me otherwise. He's just a great, phenomenal, puts on great matches. He can wrestle. He's just so good and so tough and so believable as a wrestler. He just got so much heart. He's just a great wrestler, great competitor, great athlete. He's just awesome. He's been my favorite in NXT, forever. As far as NXT goes, just my all-time favorite wrestler from NXT. He's just great. God, he's had so many great matches in NXT and in WWE as a whole. Just so great. I don't care what anybody says. Um, I thought Bronson Reed was going to win the title. Well, he's been on the tear, the last several months, really, since he's been in NXT. Um, but to my surprise, because he used to never let Johnny Gargano keep the title, he won it like he used to do with Sasha Banks. She never got to keep the title long. Neither did Johnny Gargano. defense was always short, like Sasha's was. But he ended up letting Sasha keep the title belt for a while, and Johnny Gargano got the win, and he beat Bronson Reed. He beat him with that one final beat, leaping over DDT. He did it twice. It took two of them to beat him. Yep. So Johnny Gargano is still your North American champion. So great match. I loved it. Very good match. I really liked it. So another great Johnny Gargano Takeover match. Johnny Gargano delivered again at Takeover. Uh, I expect nothing less from Gargano. Anything from Gargano, really. Uh, all right, so that was, like I said, Gargano is still the North American champion. All right, now the main event of night two of Stand and Deliver, we had the NXT Championship. It was a good match. I liked it. Karen Cross looked good. It would start out slow, but it was a slow, methodical match. Aggressive, hard-hitting match. Smash mouth match. Finn Balor finally got rolling late in the match and got some good offense in. He made you feel like he was really going to maybe beat Karen Cross and pull the upset victory. That's hard to say for a champion upset, but it really did seem like that. But Karen Cross won. He won in a brutal way with attacking, Finn Balor with shots back to the head like he does. Uh, and he did that big knockout punch from behind. And Karen Cross eventually got the win over Finn Balor. So it was a really good match. I really liked it. Wasn't a great match, but it was a good match. It was a good match. It delivered on the hype. It was good enough for me. I liked it. Um, so like I said, I'm a fan of both of these guys, and big fan of both of these guys, and they put on a really good match, solid championship title match, and Karen Cross is back as the NXT champion. So Karen Cross, new champ, and loved his entrance again. His entrance is great. Scarlett looked great. Scarlett's so beautiful and hot. My God, just whew. Finn Balor did a great job. Just a really good main event. Wasn't a great match, but it was a good match, good title match. I liked it. Yep. So like I said, this night too was kind of a weird show. It was a good show. But it was nothing great, nothing spectacular, but it was all right. It was good. So I had to give this one a 7 out of 10. So a 7 out of 10 for night 2 of Stand and Deliver. Yep. So that's my review on NXT. Overall, Stand and Deliver, in my opinion, was a success. Very good takeover. Yep. Had those two classic matches in night 1, the women's match and the match with Walter and Pete Dunne, both instant classics. Yep. So a really good takeover show. I really enjoyed it. I loved it, as a matter of fact. Yep. So if you're a fan of wrestling at all, NXT, or don't even like watch NXT or watch WWE, go out of your way to watch this takeover. I think you'd be impressed. If nothing else, go watch the Johnny Gargano match, the Pete Dunne match, and the Raquel Gonzalez Io Shirai women's match. Like I said, the Gonzalez match and the Walter match was instant classics. If you're a wrestling fan at all, I think you'll love those matches. Yep. All right, so now real quickly, I'm going to go into AEW. And I'm just going to say up front, this AEW show was all right. It was good. It wasn't nothing bad, wasn't nothing horrible, wasn't nothing special or great. And you can see why, to my opinion, AEW's been on a roll here lately, just week after week, just putting on great shows, including the awesome pay-per-view, in my opinion, the Revolution. Yes, I said awesome pay-per-view, not awful. I said awesome. Great pay-per-view. I think it got too much slack from the main event ending. I think it got more slack than didn't deserve. But yes, AEW's been killing it lately. So I figured I'd have to have a cooling off show, a cooling off little period, at least for a week or so. And I think this was it. As you'll see why, next week's show is stacked because it's a lot better on paper. But this was still a good show. This was still better than anything WWE's done here lately. So there's that. Up to this takeover show. This was still a whole lot better than Raw or SmackDown's been in a while. A long time, as a matter of fact. Even NXT to an extent, except for, the regular NXT shows haven't been as good, consistently good, and like AEW has been, over the last few months. So, I mean, this was an alright show, not bad show. Nothing wrong. It was terrible. The match was okay. Nothing spectacular. Um, the match of the night, if I had to pick one, would be the Kenny Omega match. Was a very good match. And I actually thought the Darby Allin and JD Drake match was very good. If you don't know who JD Drake is, he wrestles on Dark and Elevation a lot. He really took it to Darby, and I thought they had a really good competitive match. It was a good title match. I liked it. I like how Darby's defending this title every week and wants to be a fighting champion. I love it. Defending the belt on TV, I like it. Every week it seems like I like it. Yep. Starts off, you get the vibe of the Inner Circle in a video from earlier in the day. It was a really cool entrance. I liked it. Jericho came in like a Lamborghini or Ferrari, and it was cool. And the rest of the people came in like SUVs and monster trucks. It was really cool looking, looked awesome. And the way they entered the ring looked like something from a movie. It was awesome, like a superhero movie or something. It was cool, like an action movie type. Good. It was really cool. Yep. Uh, so the first match, Adam Page versus Max Caster. Fan of both. I love Hangman Page. I like Max Caster a lot. I like his raps. I like their claim. I like his partner Anthony Bowens. His tag team partner. They make a great team. They make really good heels. A great teal competitive tough tag team. I like Max Caster's rap. I liked his diss track he did on Hangman on the night before on Dark. I thought it was hilarious. Yep. So this was a good opening match. It wasn't a great match, but it wasn't a terrible match. It was okay. It was a good match. I thought Max Cass did a good job. I thought Hangman Page did a good job. Help, get making Max Cass look more legitimate. Even though he's been doing really well since he's been in AEW, Max Cassidy acclaimed and everything. Uh, Both wrestlers I thought looked good in this. Hangman Page eventually got his buckshot lariat on Caster and picked up the victory. So Hangman Page beat Max Caster. Uh, Page celebrating threw some beers to the crowd. Tony said, it was National Beer Day. Yep. Tony Schiavone is introducing Death Triangle to the ring. Yeah. And the Peanut Butters cut a promo, and Tony talked to me. It was good. I liked it. Um, Next thing you know, not long after that, the Inner Circle comes out. After that, talk about the card next week. The Inner Circle comes out. Jericho cut a really good promo. It was long, but it was good to see Inner Circle and Jericho back. Jericho cut a really good promo. I thought it was really good. I liked it. Jericho always does a great job on promo. He's just such a great promo. Always has been. Jericho's awesome. I love Jericho. Yep. Jericho killed it again as always. Yep. So glad to see the Inner Circle back on AEW, and glad to see Jericho back, and he killed it on promo. Good job. Liked it. Uh, Back from commercial. Right before the commercial, Jericho said we got to go to break, and after that, Jericho cut a long promo on the Pentagon MJF, and it was a very, very good promo. I really liked it. Good promo. Uh, then we had a commercial break. Backstage, Dasha's with Kristen Cage. It's always great to see Dasha. Because she's so beautiful. Dasha Curran. I love Dasha. She's beautiful. I think she's one of the most prettiest women it is in the world. My personal opinion, she's gorgeous. Um, Cage was cutting a promo. Taz interrupted him and gave him an offer to be in Team Taz. Taz, real quick before Christian acted like it's going to say, he said, sleep on it, and give me your answer next week. So that could be interesting. That'd be cool to see Christian join Team Taz. I don't think Christian will. I think Christian will turn down Team Taz, and somehow or another will start a feud between Team Taz and Christian. And I still think it's friction between Team Taz. They've been teasing it for weeks now. I think Brian Cage is eventually going to leave Team Taz. Either they're going to get tired of Brian Cage and you attack him and throw him out, or Brian Cage is going to get tired of being the bad guy and attack all of them and be a good guy. We'll see. Um, so that should be interesting to go and see what happens with that next week with Christian Cage and Team Taz. Uh, yep. So at the next match, Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. This was a good tag match. Um,